Alright, what's up, Grandma? What's up, Taylor? So we've got our Excel sheet here. You don't have to do this. This is my nerdy way of optimizing bread recipes. So right now we have our green one that we'll be using. So all of our base ingredients right there. And then these are added later into the bread machine after the dough has been, kneaded for a bit. And then I've had some tips and changes I've made. So yeah. Alright, we're in the kitchen now, got all our ingredients out. We're just gonna have to prep a couple of things, but everything can be added directly to the bread maker. You just gotta do it in kind of a specific order. This is the yeast I would get, the bread machine instant yeast. But yeah, we'll start prepping stuff and then we'll show the order to add everything to the bread machine. Alright, the only thing we're gonna combine before it goes in the bread machine is going to be the flour and the sugar, because the salt and the yeast, we'll make sure those are put on opposite sides of the bread machine. Alright, then first thing in the bread machine is going to be some hot water. I like to make it a little warmer than it should be, just because it will cool off. So we're going to be adding some milk and just it's sitting here for a little bit. Alright, so we got all of our wet ingredients, the butter, water and milk. Now we're gonna add the flour and sugar on top. So I'm just kind of doing it this way since I really don't want to get it all over the sides. Alright, added all the dry ingredients. Now the two most important, the most precise measurements, we'll do the yeast and the salt, and we're gonna put them on opposite sides. So we've got our wet and our dry. So we're going to put yeast in one corner, salt in the other. So, the yeast needs some time to do its thing, interact with the sugar. We don't want the salt killing it right away, but eventually we want that salt to be like, alright, chill out, yeast. So that's the plan. Alrighty, so we've got our yeast on one side, salt on the other. As far as the mode, it's kind of up to you if you've got, depends on what your bread machine's got, but I like to do sweet. Obviously we're doing a sweet bread, and then this is a half-pound loaf, so we'll put it on half-pound. I'll adjust the other settings, but there will be a point in the time in the cook where it'll beep at you a bunch and stop kneading the dough for a bit, and then we'll add the raisins and the cinnamon. Alright, important thing here, so it's sticking quite a bit to the sides, so we're going to slowly just add a little bit of flour. Usually a little bit less than a full tablespoon. It doesn't have to be completely off the sides, but this is just a little bit too much. Alright, there we go. Now she's looking good. Sticks a little bit, but I can freely move it pretty easily. So we should be good. I added probably 2.5 tablespoons of flour. So it can stick to the sides, but we want kind of a firm ball. Alright. This thing just beeped at me, so it's time to add our raisins. And I know it looks like a lot, but trust me, I did about a third cup the first time and there's barely any raisins, so it will be just fine. And then we'll add our teaspoon of cinnamon, and then you just leave it to sit. Alright, we're all done. We can just put it on a plate, cut it up, and then I usually freeze it, just because there's a lot of bread for one person. But you can make French toast with this. It's really good if you let it get a little bit stale, or get like a cinnamon butter. Amazing. So yeah, delicious.